Welcome to Chatting the Pictures. My name is Cara Finnegan, and I'm a writer, teacher, and historian of photography.
And I'm Michael Shaw. I'm a writer, a psychologist, and also the publisher of Reading the Pictures.
Minneapolis has been a focal point for protest, as well as demands for racial justice and police reform, since the killing of George Floyd by Officer Derek Chauvin in May 2020. With the trial currently underway, local and national photojournalists are particularly mindful of this key moment in the history of American civil rights.
This photo was taken by Joshua Lott for the Washington Post. It shows a lightning strike near the intersection of Chicago Avenue and 38th Street, also known as George Floyd Square, in Minneapolis on Tuesday, April 6th, a week after the start of Derek Chauvin's trial for the murder of George Floyd.
With that lightning strike and those dark skies looming, it's really hard not to read this image as metaphorical in the context of the current trial, an additional shooting in a nearby suburb. Is the lightning judgment? Lott is capturing a number of things, all condensed into this really powerful photograph.
I agree with the judgment or the feeling of wrath, racism as an affront to human nature embodied by this bolt of lightning. And it's interesting how it actually puts into shadow these really powerful other elements that are in the photograph. That sculpture of a clenched fist, the familiar empowerment icon. And also a really interesting element here, I think, is the flag at the top of the sculpture, which here looks almost like a planted sword or a beacon. So you can't see that red, black, and green Pan-African flag. But the way that it seems thrust into the raised fist and it parallels the lightning strike seems to double the amount of energy and force in the photograph.
Lott's photo just really captures so much about the power of what is now a site of public memory. A memory site not only about George Floyd, but also broadly a space of activism and communication, highlighting the need for racial justice. I think it's interesting to notice that the raised fist sculpture actually started out as a wood sculpture, and then artists and community organizations got together to cast it in steel, which suggests a kind of permanence to this space and a kind of permanence to that resistance that you talked about. And that fist also is pointing up at billboards that Lott captures in the frame as well. These are billboards that were bought by people who wanted to make a space for messages of justice, right? So those are not advertisements for, local real estate agents anymore. You see the one with George Floyd's face that says remember, and then the one on the left that's more obscured is a billboard that partly features George Floyd's last words when he called out for his mother. So Lott really captures a lot about the energy and power of this memory space in the context of this very dramatic photograph.
And in this case, it started outside of the frame with people leaving flowers at the site of the killing, the makeshift memorial being just to the left of the Cup Foods, the store where Floyd went in and tried to pass this $20 bill. What happened is it slowly grew from there into this democratized or semi-official memorial space and then monument. So, you see the same thing evolve, this temporary appropriation in the Robert E. Lee statue and the square it sits on in Virginia, where the public basically started painting over the statue or projecting phrases and slogans and famous civil rights leaders onto the statue, renamed the square. So it's not certain what's going to happen with the space in Virginia. It looks like, in fact, the statue is going to be removed. But this one may stand the test of time, and it has become a very powerful symbol and destination for people to honor and grieve for George Floyd and for race in America.